Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group. The Department of Agriculture is kicking off a $300 million deal with Palantir on IT and national security work, and FAA tech teams are partnering with AI vendors on customized software for the agency's modernization of air traffic control systems. It's Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you'll hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Matt Bracken, filling in for Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining me. Let's dive into the day's top headlines. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has tapped Palantir for IT modernization and other digital work as part of a $300 million blanket purchase agreement that continues the data analytics and software giant's bonanza of business under the Trump administration. The first task order under the BPA, announced this morning, formalizes USDA's work with Palantir, specifically the agency's National Farm Security Action Plan and its One Farmer, One File initiative. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins previewed the launch of a single streamlined record that follows the farmer during a February event in San Antonio, but the new task order makes it official. In interviews with FedScoop this week, a pair of Palantir executives said One Farmer, One File is essentially a continuation of the company's work with USDA, including on its landmark platform and the February rollout of the Farmer Bridge Assistance Program. The focus of One Farmer, One File will be the consolidation of USDA legacy systems into a one-stop shop for farmers and producers to access benefits and other services covered through the agency's farm production and conservation mission. Breaking down data silos across the federal government has been a top priority for the Trump administration. The president in March 2025 signed an executive order to modify or rescind regulations that interfere with intra- or interagency sharing of unclassified data. But data sharing agreements between some agencies, most notably the IRS and ICE, have been the subject of litigation, with plaintiffs claiming those pacts violate the Privacy Act and administrative rulemaking procedures. The Palantir executives told FedScoop that other agencies would not have access to the data housed in One Farmer, One File. They also said that there is no surveillance component to the project. USDA officials did not respond to multiple requests for comment from FedScoop about the Palantir deal. In other news, the Federal Aviation Administration is making progress on its goals tied to the modernization of the systems powering air traffic control and the National Airspace System, according to Administrator Bryan Bedford and Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. The Department of Transportation officials were two of the speakers that gave updates on the initiative during the agency's Modern Skies Summit at its headquarters in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday. Since the modernization overhaul was announced last year, the FAA, along with its partners, has replaced nearly 50% of all copper wires, converted about 270 radio sites, installed new surface awareness systems at 54 airports, and transitioned 17 towers to electronic flight strips. The FAA is now planning to build customized AI software that furthers the streamlining of schedules and traffic flow. A centralized automation platform that enables easier training and quick safety enhancements is on the FAA's wish list too. Bedford characterized the AI integration as the quote-unquote third wave of true modernization. These efforts are outside of the initial $12.5 billion that Congress gave the FAA for the air traffic control modernization project. Bedford and Duffy have been rallying support among lawmakers for more funds since last year. The White House's fiscal 2027 proposal for the FAA includes $4 billion to complement the initial investment provided in fiscal 2025. But the allocation is a far cry from the $20 billion the FAA is seeking. For now, Duffy said the agency has had to, quote, look within our couch cushions to find the money to begin the industry engagement process. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, visit fedscoop.com. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Scoop podcast, available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thank you. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put this show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back tomorrow with more top headlines. Until then, I'm your host, Matt Bracken. Thanks for listening.